Hello everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are going to be taking the PMDG 777-200ER from Painfield, the Boeing factory here, down to San Francisco. We're doing a Boeing delivery flight for United Airlines, as you guys can see. We already got the stairs there, crews on board, checks have been completed. All we have to do is just hop in the flight deck, start up the APU, and start up our engines and taxi straight on out. Now, we are going to be showcasing something. I have been given the pre-release of GFX from TriTriSim. It is like a add-on to make the weathering around the aircraft much more realistic. So vortices, condensation buildup in the engine and the blades there. When you see the engines go full power, you'll see it spin and have like a bunch of stuff build up in the engine, or just the front there. And then on takeoff, and when the plane's pulled up in an angle, you'll see like a cloud or like air type layer thing come over the wing, leading edge of the wing, and come over when we pull the yoke back on takeoff, which is pretty cool. So I'll be showcasing that in today's video. It is in pre-release phase, and I got the chance to show it to you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, we are on the flight deck here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look up top, get the APU to on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start. And we're going to get the APU bleed on, which is already on. All the APU stuff is on, so that looks good. So I'll have the APU start on up as we are getting everything else ready. Now we can go to our stats page, which will show the APU starting up here very soon. There we go. And we'll have the APU start up, and then everything else looks good. What we are going to do, though, is we are going to close our doors here and get the stairs gone so we can start our engines and get on out of here. All right, APU has started up. All ground connections are gone. We'll throw the beacon light on, and everything up top looks good. We'll go to our engine page, and we can start up our right engine first. Engine 2 start first. And then we'll do engine 1, flight control tests, flaps 5, and then we'll taxi straight out. And then where we're going is just down here. End of runway 16 right departure out of rainy Boeing field. Now, one thing too, thank God it's raining, because you will see jet blast of water behind the engines as well when the engines spool up. So you'll see that too. So there's a lot of cool like weather physics that make it more realistic to the aircraft. That's what this add-on pretty much does, which is awesome. All right, so we'll look up top, and we'll start engine... Actually, first let's turn the packs off. Everything else is good across the top. We'll start engine 2 to start there. We'll watch engine 2 start on up. And engine 2 start. All right, engine 2 has started up nicely. We'll head up top and start engine 1 now. Turn the knob to start, watch it hit 100, and then we'll flip the switch. Very nice engine. This is the Pratt & Whitney engines on this aircraft. There's 100. Start engine 1. All right, both engines start up very nicely. We'll head back up top and get the packs on. There we go. The alarm was probably for the packs, so I didn't have them on, but that's fine. Left pack and right pack are on. Up top looks good. We'll got beacon light still on, that's good. Everything up top looks good. Very good. Okay, we can turn off the APU. And APU can come off. That will then spool down. We'll do a quick flight control test here. Also give out flaps 5, so go 1 and 5. And then flaps 5 will show up there. There we go. We can go to our flight control test. And we'll do our flight controls here. So we'll head down to the screen. And they want 6 on the trim, so we have to go up to 6 on trim. All right, there's our 6% trim. Now we can go left aileron, looks good. Right aileron, looks good. Full down on the elevator, full up on the elevator. Left rudder, right rudder, controls look free. That is very good. And then we can also take a look at our fuel. Make sure everything's good there. Yep, 37.2 thousand pounds. So that's looking good there too. So we go back to stats. APU should be making its way down, but we can keep that off. And we'll head back up top and turn our taxi light on, because we are clear for the taxi. to runway 16 right for our Boeing delivery flight down to San Francisco. And then the next pilots take control of this aircraft and fly it from San Fran to Honolulu. We'll release the parking brake. Parking brake is released. And we'll make our way now to runway 16 right. All right, we are approaching the runway here. The hold short, we're going to go to the right here and then go through the end part of the runway here. So we have a full-length takeoff. Auto brake is RTO. That is checked. We can head up top and get all our lights on. We'll hit the word landing, and it turns our lights on there. Runway turn-off, we'll turn on that. And wing light logo, we can turn on, just why not. Everything up top looks good. We can now get ready for takeoff out of Everett here. Painfield Boeing factory. This is the Zwicky KPAE airport. It is the Boeing factory Painfield Airport from that developer Zwicky on Contrail as well. And then the San Francisco airport is from Flightbeam, also on Contrail. I'll have a link in the description to both of those if you want to pick them up yourself. So it's a vector to our first waypoint, which is Harrob. So we'll get ready for that. So we'll bring up the engines. Toga. And rotate. Very light.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear coming up. All right, we are on the climb out. Flaps can come up. Right through the clouds. Nice takeoff. Very light, of course. Still hand flying this plane, trying to get it on the magenta line here. And we'll engage the autopilot here. There we go. Autopilot engage. Flaps are up. Gear is up. Auto brake's off. We can turn the taxi light off. There we go. Very quick departure out, I have to say. I thought I had to use the full length, but we're not even that heavy. It's a delivery flight. We have like no passengers on this aircraft. So very light flight, and we only used up half the runway. Maybe a quarter to half the runway we used up. We literally took off at like the halfway mark, roughly, is where we took off the runway. So very quick takeoff out. We'll continue our climb out here up to our 10,000 foot mark. We're well above 10,000 feet here, so we can head up top, turn that seatbelt sign off, turn our landing lights off, runway turn-offs, and wing light off. Everything else up top looks good. We are on the climb out here through the, like an eye. I think we're in the eye of the storm right now. Like, look at this. This is crazy. We'll go into our legs page, flight plan page, and we're going to be going up to 410 all the way until Envy and Taco's waypoint, and then we started ascent somewhere in that area there, it looks like. We'll continue our climb here and make our way up to flight level 410. All right, and there we have it. We're at flight level 410, 41,000 feet for this delivery flight. We'll be cruising at flight level 410 all the way until our top of descent, which if I zoom out, we might be able to see it on here. It's that green right there. Right there, roughly. Stay on 160. Everything's looking good, though. Fuel checked is good. Everything up top looks good. Nice calm winds at flight level 410 above all the clouds, which is nice. So we'll continue cruising at flight level 410, and then eventually we'll start a top of descent and descend down and make our way to about 3,000 feet for the ILS approach. We have the vector for it, and then ILS approach for runway 28 right into San Francisco. All right, we are coming up to our top of descent now, so I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to... What do we set it to? 3,000. So this will go all the way down to 3,000 feet. There we go. And then the aircraft will automatically start its descent here very shortly. Or I can even just press the button, which I'll probably press the button in just as we're about to hit it. Or it might automatically do it. I don't know here what's going to happen. And there we go. We start our descent now. And we are now making our way down. Now, we might use speed brake, so I'll bring the speed brake out because I stay on path. But now we make our way on down to 3,000 feet through VNAV. So then we can get to 3,000 feet by the glide slope ILS interception point there for the arrival for runway 28 right. Yes, I know the speed brake is out. So we'll continue our descent here. Everything's looking good. Probably going to have to keep the speed brake out so we can maintain our descent rate for the ILS into San Francisco. Everything's looking good. And we'll continue to descend here and make our way on down. Here's just a quick example of what the GFX is supposed to look like on the takeoff with the wing and engine view here. This is the Boeing 777 for this example. All right, we are getting close to our 10,000 foot mark, but I just realized if we scroll in here, we're flying right beside the Golden Gate Bridge. And I think that's Alcatraz there. And then this bridge here connects you to Oakland, if I'm not mistaken, but this is pretty cool. I got the Golden Gate Bridge right there. And we're just flying right beside it there. And then San Francisco Airport is right there. We're going to fly this direction over it, come out here, vector, and come back in this way and land 28 right. This is a real procedure. I thought it looked weird, but it is a legit procedure that aircraft do coming from the north. And that's what we are planning to do today. Everything's looking good, though. Nice, calm flight. And we'll be getting below 10,000 feet here very shortly. All right, there's our 10,000 foot mark. Head up top, seatbelt sign on, landing lights on, runway turnoffs, and wing. Taxi light will turn on when the gear is down. So we have a nose light. We are now using vertical speed to descend here, which might want to go a little bit more down. So we can get ready for the 5,000 foot mark at Sidby is what we're aiming for. But we vector, and then we'll turn back over San Fran to get in line with the runway here. All right, we're turning final here very shortly. Start slowing down here quite a bit because we'll be getting on the glide slope ILS here very shortly. Localizer grabbing that. So there we go. Localizer grabbed and approach mode. Grab the glide slope here very shortly. All right, speed bring down to 160. Glide slope grabbed. Gear can come down. Go flaps 15, bring that all the way down. Now we have a headwind, beautiful, I like this. Auto throttle stay engaged. You can use auto throttle to land on the 777, which is really nice, very useful. Pretty much like the Airbus.
1,000.
Checked, and autopilot disengage. There we go. I have control of the aircraft. enjoy the landing, everybody. A little bit high, so we'll nose down a bit here. Unless the glide slope's screwed up on this scenery, but we'll see. Try and maintain that center line. A little bit low there.
$100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. 5.
Touchdown. Reverses green, decel. And nose down gently. A little bit of a float, I have to say. Definitely a float. But we're also very, very light. Tap the auto brakes so they disarm. And reverser stowed. Welcome to San Francisco, everybody. Flight time 2 hours, pretty much. Now, we're going to be parking at an actual gate. Just up here. I think it's gate G2, if I'm not mistaken. We can clean up the airplane. We'll take the exit up here. Auto brakes already disarmed, but we can still turn off there. And get the APU started. Landing lights off, runway turn off, strobe off, wing off, and taxi light is on. Yep, that's good. But welcome to San Francisco. Nice flight. A little bit windy on the arrival, but we made it. Everything went well. And we'll taxi to our gate, Gulf 2. All right, as we're approaching the gate, we can turn our taxi light off so we don't blind the ground crew. G5. G4, and then... No, it's G2 instead of G4. G4 is on the other side. Here we go, G2. This is our gate right here. Start our turn. I think we got a safe dock too to line up on the line here. Kind of overshot that a little bit, but that's okay. We can reline it up. What kind of safe dock is this? That's interesting. All right, we'll stop right there. If we go too far, then it's going to be, the jet bridge will be in the engine. So we'll set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. We can release the tow brakes. APU is running. We'll also confirm that from our stats page. Yep, APU is running. We can turn off engine 1, engine 2. All right, and there you have it. Welcome to San Francisco, everybody. Nice, calm 2-hour flight, doing a Boeing delivery flight with the 777-200 ER's United Airlines. Turn our beacon light off there and get our seatbelt sign off too. We also checked out GFX. Now, you're not going to see a lot of it mid-flight. You might have saw some like gathering of condensation though in the blades during cruise or climb. That is it. But where you're going to see it the most is on landings and takeoffs. So I do have the replays for that, so watch those if you want to see what GFX really looks like, because that's where it really shines, is during those departure and arrival landings and takeoffs. So something to look out. But I think it's really good. But anyways, everything's looking good here. We'll connect the jet bridge and get the crew off. There's not really anything to deboard of passengers or cargo because it was a delivery flight. Well, that's going to do it for this flight from the Painfield Boeing factory down south to San Francisco, doing a Boeing delivery flight of this 777-200ER as United Airlines, and now this flight will continue its journey from San Fran to Honolulu. I have to say thank you once again to TriTriSim for sending me the pre-release of GFX tryout. I like it. It looks pretty cool. Just before this video, I did some tests with it just to see how it is, and it looks amazing from what it can do. You're normally going to see a lot of it during the rain, and downpour rain is normally when you're going to see most of it take effect. During the dry times, there won't be that much probably. It depends how you can set it up. But like I said, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.